Have you ever felt completely normal in your own body until you saw a photo of yourself? You were enjoying the evening. You were laughing with friends. Then the image appeared, and suddenly, you were no longer remembering the moment. You were evaluating your face inside it. Maybe you zoomed in. Maybe you compared yourself with the person standing beside you. Maybe one number beneath the photo began deciding how the whole night should feel. On the outside, you were sharing a memory. Inside, you had entered an audition you did not know you were taking. Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is WiseMind Stories. Why can social media turn an ordinary insecurity into a constant verdict? In The Anxious Generation, Jonathan Haidt argues that girls, on average, have often paid a particularly heavy price for the movement of social life onto visual and public platforms. Not because girls are weak, because many platforms industrialize the pressures that already matter during early adolescence: belonging, appearance, reputation, exclusion, and the judgment of peers. A mirror shows your face. A platform can make you believe it shows your rank. To understand that difference, meet 14-year-old Leah Park. Leah loved drawing faces, not perfect faces. The face of the crossing guard when rain began, her grandfather concentrating over a crossword, her best friend Sienna trying not to laugh during chemistry. Leah filled sketchbooks with the details other people overlooked. In September, the drama teacher invited her to design costumes and photograph rehearsals for the school musical. For the first time, Leah's private talent had a public purpose. She created an account for the production and posted a set of backstage photographs. One image included Leah herself. She was kneeling beside a costume rack with a pencil between her teeth, looking up at Sienna outside the frame. The photo received more attention than anything the production had posted before. Comments called Leah beautiful. Students she barely knew followed her personal account. By dinner, the number beneath the image had passed 800. Leah felt noticed. That feeling was not fake. The problem was what happened next. She opened the photo again and tried to discover which version of herself people had approved. Was it the angle? The loose strand of hair? The fact that she had not known the camera was there? Approval transformed a spontaneous moment into a standard she now had to reproduce. Before the photo, Leah had a face. After the photo, she had a successful face and every other face. What part of yourself did you begin questioning only after somebody else rewarded one version of it? The next weekend, Leah and Sienna took photographs before a birthday dinner. They took 19. In the first, Leah disliked her smile. In the fifth, Sienna disliked her arm. In the 12th, both girls looked happy, but Leah said the lighting made her skin uneven. Sienna selected a filter that softened their faces, narrowed the shadows, and brightened their eyes. Leah moved the slider back and forth. Original, improved, original, improved. The filtered face was recognizably hers. It was also impossible for her actual face to maintain. They posted the image. During dinner, Leah checked it beneath the table 14 times. She was sitting beside the person in the photograph while monitoring how strangers evaluated their closeness. Haidt's argument about girls includes several mechanisms. Visual social comparison is one. Human beings have always compared themselves, but comparison once had physical limits. A teenager compared herself with classmates, neighbors, relatives, and people in magazines she could close. Now the reference group can include thousands of carefully selected, filtered, professionally lit, and algorithmically favored images. The comparison is not between one ordinary life and another ordinary life. It is often between your unedited Tuesday and everybody else's most successful second. The United States Surgeon General's advisory notes evidence connecting social comparison on social media with body dissatisfaction, disordered eating, low self-esteem, and depressive symptoms, especially among adolescent girls. That does not mean every girl experiences the same effect. Boys can also suffer from appearance pressure, and online spaces can give girls creative communities, information, support, and friendships. The question is not whether every digital interaction is harmful. The question is, what happens when identity develops inside an environment where approval is quantified, comparison is endless, and reputation can change while you sleep? Leah's drawings began changing. She used to notice expression. Now she noticed symmetry. She redrew noses, smoothed skin, erased the lines that made one face different from another. Her art teacher, Miss Alvarez, opened Leah's newest sketchbook and paused. "Where did everybody go?" she asked. Leah looked confused. "They're all people. They used to be particular people." Leah closed the book. The criticism felt unfair because Miss Alvarez did not understand the new skill Leah was practicing. Leah was no longer drawing what she saw. She was drawing what she believed would survive judgment. The second pressure hate describes is relational aggression. Physical aggression attacks the body directly. Relational aggression attacks belonging, reputation, and access to the group. It can be subtle. The invitation that does not arrive, the photograph designed to show who was included, the vague caption everyone understands, the silence used as punishment. Social media did not invent these behaviors. It made them visible, scalable, and available for replay. 3 weeks before the musical, Leah and Sienna argued about the lead actor's costume. The disagreement was ordinary. Leah wanted to replace a dress that restricted movement. Sienna, who was helping with choreography, believed there was no time. They left rehearsal frustrated. That evening, Sienna posted a photograph with 3 cast members at a cafe. The caption read, "Grateful for the people who keep things real." Leah was not named. She did not need to be. Within minutes, classmates began reacting. Leah studied the image for evidence. Had the meeting been planned without her? Was the caption about the argument? Did every person who liked it agree with Sienna? A private disagreement had become a public atmosphere. Leah responded the way the platform taught her to respond. She created a carousel of costume sketches and wrote, "Some people talk, some people create." She stared at the post button. Then she pressed it. For 20 minutes, the approval felt like strength. By morning, 2 friends had chosen sides. The lead actor asked whether the costume disagreement was going to damage the production. Sienna stopped speaking to Leah in person but continued posting cheerful rehearsal clips. The platform had turned ambiguity into engagement. It had also turned 2 friends into opposing public stories. When did you last resolve a relationship problem with the person involved rather than with an audience? And how many conflicts become harder to repair after both people have recruited witnesses? Leah's mother noticed the change in small ways. Leah began asking whether she looked tired before asking how rehearsal had gone. She deleted photographs that performed poorly. She carried her phone from room to room, not because she expected good news, but because she feared a change in the social weather. One night, her mother found her trying to recreate the backstage photograph that had first attracted attention. Pencil between her teeth. Head tilted upward. 27 attempts. The spontaneous girl in the original image had become a role Leah was rehearsing. This is the deeper reversal. Leah did not simply dislike how she looked. She had learned to watch herself from outside. She entered each experience as both a person and an audience. How will this look? Will people understand that I belong here? Is this version of me performing well enough to keep? You cannot fully inhabit a life while continuously viewing yourself as content. During the final costume review, Leah had to explain 3 designs to the drama teacher, the director, and the cast. She had prepared for days, but when she stood beside the costume board, she noticed a student raising a phone. Leah imagined the angle. She adjusted her posture. She lost the sentence she had been saying. The room waited. Her mind moved from the design to her own face, from her face to the possible video, from the video to the comments that did not yet exist. She apologized and sat down. Afterward, Miss Alvarez found her alone in the art room. Leah said, "I don't think I'm good at this anymore." Miss Alvarez opened one of Leah's older sketchbooks. Inside was a drawing of Sienna laughing so hard that one eye had closed. It was not flattering. It was loving. "You made this before you started asking whether strangers would approve," Miss Alvarez said. "That doesn't mean the old work is better. It means it belonged to you before it belonged to an audience." She gave Leah a simple assignment: create one page that nobody else would see. No grade, no post, no photograph of the result. At first, the assignment felt pointless. If nobody saw the page, how would Leah know whether it mattered? That question revealed how completely the metric had entered her mind. She began drawing in the school courtyard. An hour later, she had sketched a row of students waiting for the bus. Uneven hair, tired eyes, bent backpacks, crossed arms, one untied shoe. The page was not beautiful in the way her popular image had been beautiful. It was alive. Leah placed it inside the back cover and told nobody. Private life is not life that failed to become public. It is where identity can grow without performing for permission. The next day, Leah asked Sienna to meet in the costume room without their phones. The conversation was clumsy. Leah admitted that her carousel had been designed to humiliate Sienna. Sienna admitted that the cafe caption had been about Leah. Neither could pretend that the posts had been misunderstood. They apologized for different things. They did not immediately return to being best friends, but they stopped turning the audience into a weapon. The production adopted one small rule. Backstage disagreements stayed backstage until the people involved had spoken directly. No vague captions. No conflict content. The rule could not remove every pressure. It created one protected room where friendship did not have to become a public campaign. If you want to reduce the power of the endless mirror, use 4 words: private, real, diverse, kind. Private means keeping part of your identity outside measurement. Make something that will not be posted. Attend an event without proving you were there. Let one friendship contain moments the audience cannot enter. Real means returning to unedited bodies, faces, and experiences. Not because offline life is always kind, but because real people move, age, laugh strangely, look tired, and remain worthy of attention. Diverse means building more than one source of worth. If appearance, popularity, or one social group becomes the entire identity, every fluctuation feels existential. Skill, humor, service, curiosity, physical capability, family, craft, and private values give the self more than one place to stand. Kind does not mean repeating empty praise. It means refusing to speak to yourself in a language you would consider abusive if it were directed at someone you protect. It also means using boundaries: mute, unfollow, block, report, and ask for adult or professional support when harassment, body image distress, disordered eating, depression, or self-harm enters the picture. What part of your life still belongs only to you? Who are you when nobody can reward the answer? And what quality in yourself deserves more attention because it cannot be photographed? On opening night, Leah stood beside the costume board again. A parent raised a phone. Leah noticed it. She felt the familiar split begin. Person and audience. Experience and evaluation. Then she looked at the actor wearing the dress she had redesigned. The actor could move freely, the seams held. The color changed under the stage light exactly as Leah had hoped. She returned her attention to the work. The presentation was not flawless, but it belonged to the room before it belonged to the recording. A mirror shows your face. A platform can make you believe it shows your rank. Leah could not remove every mirror. She could decide that no mirror deserved authority over her entire identity. But girls are not the only group shaped by the Great Rewiring. While many girls were drawn more deeply into public social comparison, many boys found a different escape. Private digital worlds where competence, status, stimulation, and belonging arrived faster than they did in real life. In the next episode, we will meet a boy who appears unmotivated everywhere except the one world that consistently rewards him, and discover why simply taking the game away cannot give him a reason to return. Because the virtual world did not win by offering nothing. It won by offering something reality had stopped providing.